Hello, and here is the next step to set up your successful client acquisition system. It is called the SOAP series framework that converts cold leads into raving fans in 7 days or less. So in the previous video, we shared how power positioning was the answer to become the only and incomparable solution for your audience. The exact process that allows you, myself, and my clients to command higher prices. We are actually talking about 5 to 10x higher prices and how it builds instant authority so that you stand out in your marketplace. But now I want to share with you how we take what we've learned in the first video, your power positioning, and amplify it so that you can convert cold leads into raving fans in under 7 days using this soap opera inspired series to support your power positioning and client conversion. So if you are like the majority of entrepreneurs that are spending all the time marketing, sending direct messages, running live launches, webinars, and all the challenges, then let me ask you, what's the worst thing that can happen after all that effort? What's the worst that can happen? Well, the worst that can happen is that you get a client on the phone and then they say, I can't afford it, right? You might be doing everything right. You are creating interest, but when it comes to converting those leads into paying clients, it's taking a lot of work. So let's be honest. Your time would be better spent serving amazing clients and getting them incredible results instead of chasing, following up, and trying to convince people into working with you. As I know this because I've been in your shoes and I started to believe maybe I am no good at sales or nobody wanted what I had to offer. And maybe you have this feeling of giving up and throwing in the towel, or maybe just going and letting someone else manage your sales process and hand over half your profits, or invest in the hope that they will actually get you sales, right? So it's just a hope game. But as I mentioned in the first video, in particularly, when you have this bad week, when I had lots of appointments booked and only end up with no sales because I was trying to compete with everyone else on the price, and I was actually being a commodity in the marketplace. I realized that. And that's when you are hearing this over and over again, I cannot afford it. I knew I needed something much better, a better way, just like I'm sure you're feeling right now. You're thinking, what is the better way? How can I be not a commodity anymore and comes and offer something that is so unique in the marketplace that people actually can't say I can't afford it. They actually will say I can't afford not to invest in this. Because the thing is, everything that you've been taught about client acquisition and sales has been wrong. And I want to explain why and how you can actually shift this for you as well. So let me show you this information here in terms of the stats. So there are actually common there's a common 3% rule actually in business. Okay. It actually states that only 3% of people who see your content are actually active buyers. This is the thought process behind this. So only 3% actually active buyers. So imagine that. What about all the other 97%? Are we marketing to those other 97%? So let me show you what the other 97% actually are, right? There are actually 5 categories if you look at sales psychology. 30% are totally not interested. 30% just don't have an urgent need. 30% are not acting on the need. 7% are actively seeking change, but they may still not invest, right? And then 3% are actually spending money now. Can you see this? So the question is, right? The big problem is that we've been taught to cater for the sort of the 90 to 97% of that market, which are actually not ready to work with you, or they don't yet have that urgent need to be working with you. So what we're actually doing is we're trying to convince them that they need to make a change and take advantage of our services. And this is a common sort of, when you put together a funnel and some sort of ascension models, the idea starts off with giving away a freebie and a low end offer so that you can then market higher priced offers to them later on. So what happens is millions of entrepreneurs are actually spending the time trying to take people through those free offers, those freebies, those low ticket offers. And yes, they do work. Absolutely, they do work. But the thing is, are we actually talking to the right people in the right way? So, again, it's a bit of a hopeful game. Hopefully lead them through your high ticket offer to that higher transformation offer at the end. So the problem really is that each step of the way, you're actually losing a big chunk of clients that are losing interest. It's either because you don't get them results they want, or they didn't engage, or I don't know, they totally fell off the face of the earth, right? So it means that you're actually having to market to many more people. So that's where the numbers, where we've been told in order to get, X amount of sales, you say you need 100 people registering for a webinar, and then only say 30% show up. So there's 30 people that show up, and out of that, a small percentage will buy, obviously, depending how good your offer is and how well your presentation goes. But that's the thing. If 100 people actually register, not all of these 100 people do actually have an urgent need. And that's probably also the reason why they're not showing up. So the big problem is that you're catering to the wrong audience altogether, to the client who isn't ready. You're trying to convince them every step of the way to work with you. And you're going through this whole long-winded process. And it may take ages to get that cold lead to a warmer lead to then a client, if ever. So not only does this lead kind of waste you lots of time, but dealing with these leads who cannot afford your services, it's really, really exhausting, right? And then they say they just want your free stuff and then they're off. And it really, really increases the length of the sales cycle as well, which we actually don't want. We don't want to have people being on our email list forever and ever and never taking action, right? So how can we cut the average sales cycle from 90 days down to 7 days or less? So the average sales cycle in the industry standard is about 90 days from cold lead to someone taking action and purchasing something, right? So what we need to do is we need to focus on a 10% of prospects who are seeking to change. And the 7% and those are ready to invest money and solve the problem. That's 3%. So we've got the 10% made of 7% that are ready to invest, and the 3% who are actually already spending money. So that's 10% of the market that's available to you. So we call this premium client targeting. And what we do is we leverage a very specific message that focuses on the top 10%, the premium buyers, and not the people who just want freebies. Because they don't want to have that long drawn out process of, if you imagine, if you're ready to buy and you're seeking a solution, you want to have that quickly. You want to know very, very quickly how the solution can help you and where you can pay, right? You don't want long-winded process where you sign up and then perhaps you have to then go to a webinar and a challenge and this, that, and the other, right? So they're ready to hand over the money to you. So we're doing this in a way that is quick and easy and in an innovative way. So one thing we've established is you need a proprietary methodology. That's your standout offer, so you're not going to be compared to anyone else in the market. And then there is a second step here that I want to show you, and I'll bring it all together in a moment. So the second step that we need, apart from the offer, is an evergreen enrollment cycle. that uses sales psychology so that it hooks and converts your potential clients in under 7 days. So I already said, talked about the power positioning. This was the proprietary methodology. That was we talked about this in video, I think it was video 2, actually. Today we're talking about the soap opera series, which is part of the evergreen enrollment cycle, because what will happen is when you send them through these steps, by the way, this is all automated, which is fabulous, right? So we don't have to repeat ourselves over and over again. We want those potential clients to be pre-sold before they get on a call with you, because you don't want to spend or even waste time and energy to get on people who may never invest. So what happens is when you put these 3 components together, they will actually do all the heavy lifting for you in a way, like, when you're watching a soap opera series or sort of a drama, it really draws you in and you cannot wait to see the next episode. So people binge watch and they really get to know you, trust you, and like you very, very quickly. So what this does is it turns your audience into diehard fans for you very, very quickly. So imagine what different would this make in your business if, your life, what would it be like if you had a system like this in place where, you can go out for dinner, you spend time with your friends or your partner, and all of a sudden you get a message from someone who just watched your mini series, the soap opera series, and they're saying, "Hey, just watch your training and I booked a call. When can we get started?" Right? Can we get started sooner? Or I can't find a slot sooner in your diary. Can you open up a new slot? Because they're so keen and eager. But here's the thing. The problem with the majority of coaches, consultants, and healers in many others, they're focusing actually on the wrong type of lead. The key is attracting and working with the pre-sold leads who are eager to say yes before they even get on a call with you. So no more long drawn sales cycles, gone are the days of 1 to 2 hour sales calls to convince people, or even 2-step sales calls where you actually filter people out. Actually, all the system actually already filters the people out before they get on a call. They already know about your offer. They already know the types of pricing that they can expect. And you do not need to convince clients to work with you. Instead, you're attracting people who are already bought in. They want to say yes and they're ready to say yes. So they are now trying to shift it and sell you on why you're a good fit to work with you. So it's almost like the other way around. So they come on a call and you can ask them, so why do you think you're a good fit to work with me? Right? That's amazing. That's ideal. Because when you have those systems in place, this can happen for you. And the best part is that that the whole marketing around this is built on relationships and value. So where we overcome the issue of price and leverage what we call the initial 48-hour momentum. Okay, so what it is, the truth is that most marketing misses the key conversion point. So it actually sets them up to fail within the first 48 hours. We must understand that the first 48-hour period, when your potential client first meets you, is when you have the highest opportunity for connection and conversion, because you are fresh in their minds. So what are you doing? What are you doing in the first 48 hours? Are you continuously showing up? Are you shifting their beliefs? Are you helping them to make a decision? Right? Because they are searching for a problem. They're willing to solve the problem. So they just need to see that you are a right solution. So, and unfortunately, the majority totally gets this wrong. It's absolutely not your fault, because that's what the industry actually teaches, because it's all these long-winded sales cycles, the sales funnels that are naturally built for a long sales cycle. So if you could choose, have a look here. Which type of prospect would you prefer to talk to? Prospect A is the type who are only interested in what they can get for free and are not ready to invest. Or prospect B, the premium prospect who wants this and is ready to make a decision right now. Well, I know what I would like. Definitely B, right? So because B are the type that, you know, firstly, I feel meeting a premium prospect, I want to spend time with them. I want to work with these people. I want to see them grow. And vice versa. They will be showing up. They will listen. They will be doing the work. They will be investing. And but the thing is, if they're entering into a funnel or a sales cycle with a freebie or a low ticket offer, that's really what happens in mostly in the marketplace. They're going to potentially tune out very quickly because it didn't cost them a lot of money. I know that myself. If I get a freebie, a workbook from someone, I tune out very, very quickly. Unless it's really good, obviously, and unless someone is really, really good with the follow-ups. But they obviously these people have come to you because they're looking for a solution. So make sure you do present that solution and are following and having this evergreen cycle in place is really going to do that heavy lifting for you. So let me show you a bit more around this. Let's break this down and let me show you the whole picture, all the things that we talked about and how this actually flows together. So one of the things that I was mentioning is about building authority as part and parcel of the SOAP series. It's this making sure that you position yourself as the expert that has a proprietary methodology. We actually call this the Authority Amplification Toolkit. And this toolkit breaks down into 3 pieces of content each week that is driving traffic to your SOAP series framework, because people have to come from somewhere, right? And you can leverage this toolkit on social media, blogs, YouTube, or podcasts. The concept will be the same, but it breaks it down into just 3 pieces of content, because content creation is another thing that can be really, really overwhelming. And putting out the wrong content is not going to do any good for you in the long run either. So how many times have you posted stuff and then you just hear cricket, right? Hearing crickets. So what we're doing here is we're using social media to drive traffic, and the strategy is all built around you. It doesn't matter where you're showing up. You're really not locked into a process or a certain social media platform that doesn't work for you. Instead, we focus on eliminating the busy work and shifting into creating premium clients who are coming to you and they're ready to make that decision. Now, the second step in the evergreen enrollment cycle is where you make your client attraction very magnetic. So they get to know you, like you, and trust you through what we call the SOAP series framework, which I already mentioned before. It's a mini series that uses sales psychology and power positioning. So that takes your clients from who is this person to like, you're just what I need, right? And I've been searching for you my whole life in a matter of a few days. And the third step to this system is actually the informed decision making. Because the client acquisition, it is not about high pressure sales at all. None of us want to be sold to. It's about helping your client to be excited to say yes. And it really creates that eager buyers who cannot imagine not working with you, and allows you to be able to kind of shift out of constantly trying to convince prospects into space of people being ready and eager to work with you. So they're already pre-sold and they're making the decision based on what's best for them. And you just help them make that decision in that way rather than selling to them and pressurizing them into something. So if you bring it all together, I would call this really the secret sauce of enrolling pre-sold premium clients on autopilot 24/7. These are the 3 pieces. So you need to amplify your authority and have a proprietary method. So that's your offer and the way you position your offer and the way you show up. You then have a SOAP series in place that does all the heavy lifting. So no more launches, no more webinars. It just runs all the time. And then you have the informed decision-making process where you hop on a call, where you help your potential client to actually make that decision. But they already come pre-sold. So it makes that so much easier, that last piece of the puzzle, that conversion piece. So the next piece of the puzzle is the next phase in the business. Because once you converted clients into paying customers, what we need to do is we need to create rapid revenue and continuous rapid revenue so that you can actually retain your clients long term, so that you don't have to remarket over and over again, so that you can create a fan frenzy client base and really market less, have more clients come in more easily, and you can double, triple the amount of money that you're making, and be more focused on coaching rather than having to market over and over again, because the hardest thing is actually getting a new client. And a lot of coaches and consultants and therapists don't actually focus on really giving a great service and keeping the client for longer, and getting repeat service. So I will see you in the next video.